What is going on YouTube? My name is Bancroft. Thank you for tuning in. And today we have a matchup, which is 3Han taking on the new set 24 Son Gohan. Like always, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them. They're there for a reason. But yeah, let's get into the matchup. So, for anyone who has played 3Han or has played against it, knows that it's a very aggro blue deck. And especially when they get the energy marker, which Matt did in this particular matchup. So I knew going into this match, it could be an uphill battle if I didn't get the right hand or sequence correctly. And yesterday, I dropped my profile on the Son Gohan list. Yeah, it's an interesting deck. More or less, the deck itself wants to put out the new Z extra card on the board, which allows you to kind of play the 4-drops a lot cheaper. You want to establish a unison, which allows you to play the 1-drops for free. So it has a lot of good kind of like just pulling things from the drop, playing it, and then freely playing other, not freely, but reduced cost playing other cards, which is kind of nice. There are 3 Great Ape Gohans in the deck, at least from this set as well. 2 of them are only to be played with this kind of like Z extra card mixed with the 1-drop on the board, while the other one you could pay 2 energy for it to play on board. So yeah, you got a lot of options to kind of get what you need out there. So Matt is starting out pretty strong with his attack. He's actually looking at comboing 2 cards, 1 card to go into his Z energy, and the other one to play off the auto of this card, and then kind of getting 2 attacks on it very early on, which is not bad. Like I said, this deck has the ability to be very aggro. And I think I end up taking this damage going down to, 6 life, which is where I'm going to be next turn anyways. I could have combo off another Son Gohan to make sure I was established here. But I'm hoping I can see some other pieces using the Leader's Activate Mean, which allows me to search top 5 cards in the deck for a Saiyan or Earthling. The energy costs 4 or less yellow. And there's quite a few options. And the one you want to see is the Turles. Because the Turles allows you to pretty much play the, and I ended up finding it, which is great, but it allows you to play the Z extra card for free as part of its like on play auto. And it's Activate Mean for 1 energy. You can play it if you have 2 or more energy, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, here I go ahead and pay to 1 energy, play it. It also searches, but it searches for a Great Ape Son Gohan of energy cost of 4. So hopefully I find one of those out there, and I do find one, which is kind of nice. That way I have another combo piece to put into my Z energy and just kind of get to the Awaken where I want to in this turn. So here we go, kind of just double checking all the rulings on the card, and I go ahead and make the attack. Also going forward in this video, there will be, to my knowledge at the time of recording this, 2 misplays when it comes to life, and I will clarify both those moments when they pop up. One on both our parts, actually. So, but here I get the combo off and get to Awaken as well. So playing the Z extra card, like I said, it's kind of like the puzzle piece for this whole deck. It's what makes this deck really explode, because the way it allows you to play the 4-drop apes kind of cheaply is to it gives all 4 cost Great Ape Son Gohan youth cards in your hand an EX Evolve skill for 1 yellow energy on top of a 1-drop Son Gohan youth. And the Unison, which is played with 1 energy by my leader skill from the drop, will +1 on its Activate Mean to play a Son Gohan with its skills negated from the drop as well. So here I'm kind of set up for next turn. As long as Matt doesn't get rid of my 1-drop, I'm pretty good next turn. Now, in this particular matchup, both me and Matt had to mulligan our hand because we kind of didn't see any pieces we wanted. And with the kind of the new mulligan, it's one of those things where it's like, you can't choose the cards you want, so you kind of have to move around it. So Matt had the way to Awaken, which is playing a 2-drop from his Z deck, which is great. He gets to restand 2 energy because of this this moment, and he'll get to his life in a bit. He kind of got in a hurry and forgot to take the life down, but there wasn't much sorry, There wasn't much of a in the moment for him a turn two play outside of playing the Z battle card. So he ends up comboing this card off, kind of seeing where he sits at. And he says afterwards, he's like, I missequenced that. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, I just wasted the auto on the leader. I'm like, yeah, it does proc right off the bat. So he ends up spending 3 energy, including his energy marker, to play the cell from his Z deck. Yeah, there it is. Which will clear my battle cards, which hurts a little bit because now I have to reestablish that Son Gohan. I don't have one in the drop, so now I'm going to have to combo one off at some point to get one into my drop to use Activate Main on the Unison. For him not seeing a turn 2 play that he felt comfortable doing, going to the cell was actually very, for him, clutch. It has a 25k crit on the board that has Activate Main that can restand. He won't get the triple strike off it, but because I'm playing a Unison-based deck, I do have Release from Evil, which kind of negates the skills. That way I don't have to worry about the crit. And I'm comfortably now taking this damage going on 4, and he cannot restand the cell, so there's like no more attacks coming from that card. We did miss it. So Matt did take his life down to 6. And I said earlier, I'll kind of clarify what happens here. Matt's been practicing a lot with other decks that go down to 6 life. And in the moment, I think he just forgot that this was a 5 life leader. So it happens. I don't know if it changed the match, like I said, because there's a part of that's somewhere down the line where I make a mistake. And I'll cover that one when I get to that point as well. So here I kind of was able to get a Son Gohan in my drop using the leader's attack to discard a card and draw 2 cards. And here's where it kind of just explodes. And I'm playing the SR, which is pretty nice because when on play, you can choose up a total of 2 of your opponent's battle cards, and they cannot restand during your opponent's next turn, which is kind of awesome. And this card's a dual attack as well. So it's going to start putting in the work into Matt. There was I didn't have it set up just yet, unfortunately. But there's a moment where, ideally, once you activate all the effects you want to activate in the leader, when you attack with the leader, and this includes the secondary activate main, which I'll go over in a second, it'll allow you to, well, I guess I can go over it now. You activate main, Spirit Boost 1, and then for the turn, you don't have to pay the energy costs for your Z Awaken. So you swing with the leader, discard 1, draw 2. Then you Z Awaken makes the leader a 20k. So now I don't have to combo cards if I really don't want to. It's where it's a comfortable spot to kind of make my opponent to apply pressure, make some combo cards off, and then I can go do whatever I need for that turn. But then the Z Awaken has another activate main, which will place another Gohan for my drop, which is great. But also has activate main where I could, right here, I'm doing right now, you bottom deck a Great Ape Son Gohan from your drop to your deck, and then you draw 1 card, restand this card, and then at the end of the turn, you remove this card from game. So it initially becomes a dual attack, and I still get a draw off that effect, which is kind of nice, which means I got 3 draws off this leader. I did discard a card, but I was able to freely play that card afterwards using the active main on my leader. I'm sorry, on my Unison. Now we could peek at Matt's hand, and for those of you who know how 3-Hine kind of works, extra cards can be tricky to balance into the deck because the leader, when you discard all your cards, or when you have a moment where you could draw back up to 3 cards, and if you have extra card in your hand, that can be tricky because those aren't cards you can combo with, so you have to get rid of them ahead of time. So a lot of times people play a very low amount of extra cards in the 3-Hine deck. And I was able to establish another Great Ape here on the board. There was a bit of delay. I think at this moment, one of the other guys was leaving the shop, and it kind of slipped my mind, but I kind of go back and ask Matt afterwards, hey, I did have a response where you see me grab for half a second. I was like, I'm not going to do it. But Matt allowed me to play the card, which allows me to switch the card that he's playing into rest mode. Now I have another card on board, which is a 14k blocker, which doesn't really do much here. But the idea here was, on this attack here, I'm going to try to combo up almost every card from my hand that's possible comboing off, except for 1. And I just wanted to see what Matt would do, because I want him to get his hand down to practically nothing. In that way, on his next turn, he has nothing to go against me with. Even though I'm sitting at a comfortable 4 life to his 1 life, I'm just trying to get him to get rid of all of his good cards. In this case, super combos. So here he's, he has, I think, 3 total super combos. Yeah. So he's kind of just picking up, trying to get up to a combo. I think I was at 65,000. I can't remember. I'm attacking with 20K. Got 2 super combos. That's 40K, 50, 60. So I'm at a flat 60. So he has to get up to 60K on his leader. And I do enjoy seeing 3 super combos getting used up for this moment. And I know once I pass, the Cell and Vegeta aren't restanding. So there's kind of a safe zone there. And I decided to end up tacking into his... I only have 1 card I can truly combo with. So I decided to end up tacking, I think, into his Gohan here, the battle card Gohan. Because once he activates the main on that card, it kind of becomes a pseudo floodgate. And anytime I want to attack with a battle card on the next turn, I have to, I think, bottom deck a 2 or less cost card. Which, yes, using the Unison and using the Z leader, it's possible to get that off. But I didn't want to bother with it. But he ended up comboing out of that one, which kind of made me feel a bit better. So hopefully going into this turn, he can't kind of just remove 4 life. But we do see he has an Oob in hand, and he ends up playing it, which did hurt a lot. I'm just looking at it again because it's been a while since I've seen Oob. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I put him on my drop, but eventually we'll put him in my Z energy in a second. And he attacks, and I just so happen to have I think we have to backtrack a bit, like reading it, because I thought there was a thing of like activated counter or something like that. So yeah, put the cards there, which happens to put me at 7 Z energy. And so now, knowing he has this card on board, knowing what he could possibly do, I decided to just negate the attack with Flying Nimbus. Which I think puts me down to 1 card in hand. And because we negate the attack here, we can see in his hand is the new Secret Rare Goku, which could be played for free as long as you have 2 cards in your combo area. So kind of getting that out of the way felt pretty nice. He swings with the Goku, activate main to play the Goku Black. Sorry, he swings with the leader Gohan, activates the battle on the Goku Black to play it. And I think I end up taking the leader attack. Knowing that he only has 1 more attack on board, he's tapped out. And the only card he has on board is either the Single Strike Gohan or the Goku Black. And he ends up attacking here with the Goku Black. Fun fact about the Goku Black is that, if correct, it has double strike. And you're going to see in a moment, I will take 1 damage. And the reason behind that was because when I asked Matt, and this is just my fault, like I know it has double strike, but in the moment I was just like, what was I getting? He's like, just 20K. I'm like, okay. So my brain went, okay, just 20K single. And I took the 1 damage, and Matt didn't correct me at all on that one. So I should be at 1 life right here going into this turn. I'm set under the floodgate. So trying to move around. And like I said, this floodgate only hits battle cards. So I have a leader, I have Unison. And if you know the Gohan deck, there's also a Z Unison, which has Empower 2. So kind of the attack out where I can. Attacking the leader, got to discard a card, choosing what card would I'd rather keep in my hand. Or actually, I think I've already attacked. Yeah, I've already did all that stuff. Okay. So here I'm looking over my options. And I remember, oh yeah, wait. Let me attack with the Unison first. Apply extra pressure. Cause him to combo cards off and possibly use his leader's ability. We're both at supposedly 1 life. And here I use the leader's ability to play the one drop, because I did have an idea of possibly playing the Servant Vegeta promo from last set on board, because on swing I think it's a 30k, so it's just additional pressure. So here I played the new Unison, which kind of KOs all the battle cards in rest mode, which is kind of cool, and has a -3 effect where it's an activate battle. It gains 10k in double strike. So here I go ahead and proc it, making it a 25k double strike combo up to 30k here, and that's game. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoy. Yeah, that's it. Bye.